Buenos Dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack at it. It doesn't matter. Trip out on this. Today we have an exclusive interview, man. I felt that if for no other reason, I should tap into them Southwestern states, man, and bring you a real one who's done it since day one. From a young man to a grown man, this man has been in the mix, man, and has been a real one, 10 toes down in the concrete where the roses bloom. Maybe just ask Pac, right? So trip out, man. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to my main man right here from New Mexico, and he has a very exclusive and intricate story into the gang life and things that happen out there in New Mexico. So trip out, man. Introduce yourself, brother.
What up, man? Y'all, this is the Life of Zay. Um, like you said, man, I'm from New Mexico, just here to trying to connect all this shit. You know, everybody that does the same thing, we're trying to get it all connected. So here to do this spill with him, man.
Yes, indeedy, man. Networking is a good thing. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into New Mexico. The gangs out there, the homegrown, the gangs that have influenced New Mexico. And as a youth, I know you caught some time, bro. I know you was facing some shit. Let's
Yeah.
put it out there, man. Tell your story, brother, in your words.
Okay. So my family's from Visalia. They're from out there, and they moved this way. You know, when my grandpa got out, he was in fucking San Quentin, everywhere like that. You know what I mean? In like what, 50s, 60s. It was a while back. No, like 60s, 70s. And he got out and they moved this way. Well, they really moved to Artesia. That's a little city right here. And then, you know, he met my grandma and everything like that. He was fresh out of YA. Came this way. And then they ended up going back at some point. So what people don't understand is a lot of the old school Emmett, they're from northern, you know what I mean? Like they come out of the northern and then just I think they shift them down there in the prisons, you know what I mean? So he came over here and then like to try to get away because he had 2 strikes already. And he was
Yeah.
already looking, you know what I mean? He was like 19 with 2 strikes. So came this way and then met my grandma. She had 2 kids, which was my dad and my aunt. And then they moved back to Visalia. My dad's a northerner because they moved to he's doing 35 years right now. They moved to Visalia, and you know it's northern out there. So
Yeah.
my grandpa, of course, was, you know, I won't get into it too much, but he's a padrino and everything like that. And
Yeah.
you know, they came out there, and then they moved back to New Mexico. My grandma's from Roswell, and they were in Artesia, so you know, just mixed like that. He met my mom, had me. Um, he went to prison when I was like 3. You know what I mean? So I don't really know him, but we started in the base. That's what it's called, the base. It's like the deep south of Roswell, and then we kind of moved this way, you know, a little more south. That's when I really got into the hood shit and all that. But growing up, it was really crazy. You know what I mean? Like from a young age, I had to learn fucking sleeping on floors, and you know, because they were chopping the houses up, and it was something that was just it was like there. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have a choice to go play sports or whatever. Like you know what I mean? Like it was real poverty shit. Like we would go to church just to eat and shit. Like we weren't going for church. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I started growing up, getting older and shit like that. And we ended up moving to the east side. It's called Chihuahuita. It's like really, really ghetto and shit. And that's our rival. So we move over there because most of our family's in Chihuahuita. But I mean, we're southern and northern, and it's fucking we're right in the heart of their hood. So it was constant clashing, you know, and it made me develop a hate for them. Like I mean, I'd be coming from 5th grade getting my ass beat, you know what I mean? By these old ass dudes that were from that hood. And I didn't know too, all I knew was that they had a black bandana on, and I'm gonna, you know what I mean? If you got a black bandana, that's where I'm against it, you know what I mean? Basically. So I got put down like in probably like 5th grade, honestly. And that's what I was telling you, my family, like literally mom and dad's side, they're they're northern and southern, you know what I mean? So they
Yeah.
just over here they tie flags. It's called truce gang. They don't have no. We're against them, you know. They're trying to
Yeah.
get us, and so basically, I grew up in that. I got put down into the hood. I was like 11 years old, and I remember the big homie's like, yeah, it's a little different, you know. We don't follow so much of the rules that everyone I guess tends to follow. I think Califas is a big influence on the gang culture, and everyone tries to pick it, you know, and pick and choose from there. So with us, you know, you get ranked in like normal, and then you gotta I mean, you're gonna put in your work that night. You ain't gonna beat around it. You know what I mean? Like your ass is gonna get. It's usually at a party when we're all there. You're gonna get in that whip and go handle your shit.
Yeah.
So you know, the big homies like who's getting put down. Me and another homie stepped up. You know, we got put down. I was on my hands and knees after, bro. My older brother Hustle, he kicked me in my face, boom, then picked me up, gave me his muscle shirt, cleaned me off and shit, and then they're like, let's go, you know what I mean? We gotta go slide back. So we spun or whatever, came back, and then that was the start of it, bro. I was just living reckless, you know what I mean? The hot ones that I caught, it wasn't really for the hood, you know. There was a family friend. So at that time we moved like southwest, you know, we moved around a lot and shit. And we were living on this block called Woody Drive. And in the process of, you know, my dad being locked up, my mom remarried. That's my dad. You know, I've always looked at him like my daddy's my stepdad, but he's always took care of us. He's white, but he's like, so he's from Burke, from Albuquerque, like West Side 18th Street. So he's like, you know what I mean? Him and my uncle are like, you think they're Mexican, how they talk and shit. So I was just seeing a lot of shit, man. I was seeing my pops knock fools out. You know, they're having hood parties every all week long, and that's whenever I picked up my case, man. He was a family friend. You know, his name's Fabian. I won't go too much into saying his name, and he hurt my sister, man. We had a room. Me and my sister shared a room, and there was a back door in the room. He came through there. Long story short, you know, shit happened. Her and her little friend were in the bed. She was like 15, you know what I mean? And the way I look at it, I don't know what happened, you feel me? But the way I look at it is that no grown man has no business sleeping with a little girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Right. Absolutely right.
we pulled up on him, you know what I mean? Like he's like family. We pulled up and he told me, let me explain why I did that pretty much. So when he said that, you know what I mean? My brother told me, Kemalo, you know what I mean? Hit this foot, and that was it. And well, that happened. Little Fabi got laid down or whatever, and then there's this old man that sells barbecue, bro, on the east side, and he's such a good guy. You know, his name's Sammy, but where I'm from, bro, you can't pull a heater. You know what I mean? Like you can't. I mean, if you pull a gun, you better use that shit. You know,
Absolutely.
and his son, man, his son Sammy Jr. He lifted his shirt while all this was going on. He lifted his shirt. He wasn't even there. He was off to the side on a bike. He lifted his shirt, and I seen the chrome of his Trey 5.7. You know what I mean? And when I seen the chrome, I don't know. I just, you know what I mean? I went that way, and he got it too. And what happened with him is he crawled to the side of the buildings, bro, and he laid on the side of the building and bled out from his leg. So with that one, because he was a felon and all that shit. So at first it was first and second, like they were hitting me with first and second.
Yeah.
After that, when they all broke it down, you know, the DA and shit, I got voluntary and involuntary. So with those charges, if it's less than first in New Mexico, they give you a youthful in boys' school. That's juvenile life, basically.
Yeah.
So I caught my youthful or whatever, and then I went up there and started doing my time, man. And shit, when I got in there, it was even worse. I wasn't going for no shit. You know, Rouse was small, and a lot of people try to test us because they know how we do shit. You know what I mean? And I went head in. You know what I mean? I was gonna come out the same way I went in. You feel me? And at that time, when I just handled this shit, I feel like I'm on top of the world. Obviously, in the gang world, you know what I mean? That's how we look at shit. So I went in there and I'm like, these fools ain't gonna check me. You know, I'm gonna go in there 10 toes down, and I started doing stupid shit. So they started a program called Cambiar New Mexico, basically to get the kids out earlier. And every time I went to board on that, they were like, hell no, bro. You have 70 fights, you know, assaults with weapons. There's no way we're going to do that. So ended up pushing it till I was 18. And when I was 18, I got out a week before, or a couple weeks before. And then I just went to have a halfway house almost, kind of like that.
For transitional housing.
Yeah, exactly. The reintegration into society or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went over there, man, and I met a girl, had a kid, and see, I was supposed to take off to Arizona, like with the culinary shit, because that's what I was doing when I was locked up. and I met a girl. She got pregnant, and I never got to go. You feel me? I just came back to my city because it didn't work with her. Obviously, I came back to my city. Um, right when I got here, Pops is the man now. You know what I mean? We never had money like that. So when my dad's the main one here, I'm gonna jump on board. You feel me? So I got on, and I was like 19. I started going crazy, and I was moving too fast, and then that led to my adult conviction. I got a trafficking a controlled substance, and they gave me a suspended sentence on that. That I didn't go to prison on that one, suspended sentence. But then they raided my house because there was a beer can outside, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And they found a clip that was broken. When they found that, they got me with the possession of firearm accessories and gave me the 1 year habitual. So I had to go, do all that. That was the first taste of adult prison that I got. And I don't know. After that, bro, I got out. Met my fiance now, and I just been chilling now because I've already
Yeah.
been through it. You feel me? Through that whole process, though, there's a lot of shit that went on. You know what I mean? A lot of people dying. My mom got murdered while we were in there. My dad, my brother, everybody that was in that whole organization of the selling dope or whatever, they hit us all. You know what I mean? We're all gone. My brother got like 10 years. My dad got 8. Everybody that was doing it, one person, bro. It's all it fucking takes is one person to not be happy with what you gave them, and they tell them everything. You feel me? And everybody's going. So they
Yeah.
railroaded us. They railroaded us on that shit, and I had the suspended sentence, so I was the only one out. You feel me? So I was trying to take the lead and take care of my moms and shit like that, and then I fucked up obviously and got sent. So when I messed up, I don't know what happened, bro, but we still don't know. The cops don't. I mean, down here, if you're not willing to work with the cops, they're not gonna fuck with you. So, um, they wrote it as a hit and run with my mom's murder, but my mom was 4'11", bro. She was short, and her
Yeah.
legs weren't broken, nothing. I mean, if you get hit by a car, your legs are gonna be at least scratched up. You know what I mean? And they weren't. There was nothing on them. So, the cops just, y'all ain't willing to work with us, then fuck it. We're just gonna write it as that. So they left it at that, closed the case within like a week, and that's a homicide too.
Yeah.
So when they closed that, bro, I got out. I got my JNS literally like 2 days after that shit happened, bro, after she died. So when I came home, and I thank God every day that I didn't pick up no new shit, but I came home and I wasn't worried about what church we're gonna have the funeral at, none of that shit. I'm trying to send somebody right behind her. You feel me? Like whoever
Oh
did this,
yeah.
like I was
Indeed.
out here, bro, and without incriminating, like I can say it wasn't me. I didn't do shit, but everybody that was involved is clipped. You know what I mean? They're gone, and
Allegedly.
yeah, yeah. That's what they say around here. But
Yep.
I came out to that, bro. Like I pulled up literally from getting off the bus from transfer, from the joint and shit, and everyone was outside of my house with sticks. You know what I mean? Like, yo, dog.
Ready. Yeah. And I understand. I mean, when it comes to moms, bro, there's
Oh
no
yeah,
rules. The rules
yeah,
are off the table. There is no table. Let's just go. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So trip out. You say that the heavy influence of California. Is there any California-based gangs out there in Roswell, New Mexico, or is it pretty much homegrown? You guys got your own trip going on. Without going too much into the details and the politics of what you guys got going on, that's not for here. But is there a heavy influence, bro? Like, is there
Um,
norteños and sureños out there, basically?
there is. We don't really fly under the Sureño like they're Norteños, but the reason with the Sureño, like I was telling you, is because in the feds. So I'll just say this, in the faction of the feds, like our gang and shit, Roswell has a huge influence, like at the top tier. So in there, the Sureños try to like a Sureño will tell you got to do 113 burpees, but he's like, nah, dog, I'm a northerner on the streets. Why am I gonna do your number of burpees when I'm a norteño? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they try to clash like that. So because of that, and we run next to them. We don't run under them. You feel me? Like we run
Yeah,
we
you
run
run side by side. Yeah,
yeah, and we're
and
all
then
under the hand. You know what I mean? And they don't get that. They think because they're I guess because they're closer and because the black hands from over there that they can tell us like, nah, y'all gotta listen. Like we don't listen to them. You know what I mean? So we don't follow that. Like I said, my OG bro, my grandpa, he's a padrino and he's retired. It's good. You know what I mean? He can still go back. and he's always told us don't fly under Sureño. I'm not gonna say why, because I know a lot of dudes get on here like that's not true, you know what I mean? But that's coming from the mouth of somebody who was in Folsom with them, you know what I mean? Like he
Yeah, he
was
has a
in
lot of
there.
history. Yeah,
Yeah, he got the tattoos. He can still go back to Visalia. Um, everything's good, you know what I mean? He's good on his end, and he's the influence that told us don't fly that flag. You know, if
yeah,
y'all are Southern, just we're South Gang Trece. We don't say like the Sureño thing. But and the thing about it too is we dress different. You know, we don't really do the Cortezes and all that stuff. Like we kind of wear Jordans and shit. You know, and there's
yeah,
some here. Like there's a
yeah. I
lot of
see
them
it.
here, and they're cool. Yeah, see like that and. These ones are cool. Like we don't got no smoke with them. It's just that personally we don't. You know, we're from the south side of Roswell, so that's what we bang. I think the Sureño thing and the Maria and the M and all that. It's a lot more complex, and we
Yeah,
just don't get into all that. But yeah, I think Cali does definitely have an influence. The leader of our hood, he's actually from there. You know what I mean? I don't know what
yeah,
part, but he's from out there. So and then we all have the utmost respect for the big homies over there.
yeah.
And it's crazy that it touches all the way down here, but it really does, bro. Like,
It's
it,
worldwide.
yeah,
You got a lot of vast influence. So, as far as so say you have like a Sureño gang in LA, in Los, like you have 18 and you have Florencia, Maravilla, just different gangs, different clicas, and then as well as up north in Northern California. Do you have any of those gangs that established in Roswell, or are you guys all pretty homegrown? Meaning,
yeah,
you,
it's all pretty much from here. You know what I mean? There's not
okay,
there's not too many different South Side hoods here. There's only like, well, there's the Sureños, but they still fall with us. You know what I mean? We all
yeah,
link together, and then like I said, we're tied in with the Norteños too. So there's no Northside locals over here. That's like it started here, and then they started Northside Mafia because my cousin was like one of the main people. His name was Menace, and he got killed by a West Sider. So they started Northside Mafia in remembrance of him, and a lot of them fall under that. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it's not really no like we don't have the gangs from over there. We just have just
yeah.
literally from the south side of Roswell or shit like that.
And so, does Roswell inter beef with Roswell, or do you guys beef with other cities close by? Like, what's the makeup there? I know you guys got Albuquerque's a big city in that state, and then
Yeah, there's
The
Albuquerque.
Pueblo, right?
Yeah, I think that's Colorado.
Or Spencer, yeah.
Yeah, we got Cruces, Albuquerque, Roswell, Santa Fe, Vegas, and Espanola. Those are like the main ones.
Okay,
And we don't really have beef. Like it's more like if you come over here with respect, you feel me, you'll get it back. Like we don't really go out the way, but we're real tight on our circles. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
probably not gonna happen to see someone else like from out of town just being in the. You know what I mean? You had to do this shit when you were a kid. You know what I mean? To be able to be with us
okay,
and shit like that. I mean, they can kick it, but we don't really beef it like that. A lot of the dudes over there from California, a big thing that happens here is a lot of the dudes that come, the Sureños, they come over here from Cali. I don't know if they're no good or what's going on with that, but they
yeah,
come over here and then they like want to push the politics, dog, and they can be a big homie over there and they end up getting knocked off over here. You know what I mean? Because they come over here like y'all got to answer to us, and we don't go for it. So a lot of those big Sureños that come here, they end up, you know what I mean, not leaving, and that right there sets the tone for it. So now when the Cali dudes come here, they're already on high alert, like, okay, I'm gonna have to hit one of these fools, you know what I mean? And
to
it's really
establish.
not like that. It's just the fact is that they try to push their politics on us and tell us you need to answer to this and this, you know what I mean? And like I said, it's always been a thing, like y'all are side by side with us, y'all aren't over us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and that's and it's all respects to the big homies down south, man. And at the end of the day, man, each state is different. Each state has their own politics. Each state has their own way they wiggle.
Yeah,
So, I mean, and no one can be mad for anyone trying to go establish. It's been done. It happens. It's probably happening right now as we speak. Um,
yeah.
but with all due respect, every state wiggles different. So, when you got sentenced to prison, did you go to the state or to the feds?
I went state.
You
I've
went
never
state.
been to the
And
feds.
what prisons do they have out there?
They got the Max in, they call it the North Max in Santa Fe. They have receivings. They got a couple of different receivings. They have a level one here in Roswell. It's like on the outskirts, but I
Yeah.
can't go under level three because of my tattoo. So I'll be three and up. You know what I mean? When I go, so I don't get to go nowhere around here.
Yeah.
This they got like probably like 7 different joints here, and then the juvenile prisons they have YDDC, which is the new boys school. They got Camino Nuevo. It's for like people that are gay or sensitive cases and shit like that. Like
Yeah. Weirdos and PCs,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. And it used to be for the killers, but they changed it. Whenever I got hit with all my shit, they closed Springer down because people were getting raped. That was the boys' school, so that's when it was a big ass room with beds. You know what I mean? I went there for evaluation, and they closed that shit, and they made YDDC the new one. But Camino Nuevo used to be for the killers, and when they closed that, they have a cottage that's called Esperanza in YDDC, and that's the unit for the killers. That's where I was at. And then they got John Paul Taylor, which is for the southern people, like down south New Mexico. It's in Las Cruces, but my points were too high to go there, so I never got to go to John Paul. I did just just do boys.
Yeah. Yeah. When you have a lot of tattoos, man, that's kind of a red flag. It's a target on you, and especially if any of your tattoos are gang related or look gang
Yeah,
related. So in New Mexico, in California, doing time in prison myself, we have a thing called a validation process. You get validation points, you get validated. And at one point in time, they were slamming us back in shoes, under indeterminate shoes, meaning you're never going to get out of the hole. Anytime you go to prison, that's where you're going to be at.
yeah,
They've overturned that with our end of hostilities. A lot of stuff we have going on in California right now between North and South, where we're actually having not necessarily unity, but an end to the war, to the 50-year war. So over there in New Mexico, do you guys have like validation points, things of that nature, where they slam you guys back in shoes, or is it more of just
yeah. They
you know?
so over here what they do is they have the gang units in every city, and the
Mhm.
gang unit that file will follow you up there. Um, it's real city oriented, the prison shit. So they will validate you, but really the only people that get slammed down are the S and Mers. They can't be on the line, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's a whole nother story in its own. But they can't be anywhere because everywhere wants to get at them as they want to get at everywhere else too. So
yeah.
they they get slammed down. That's who's locked down and shit like that. We don't really we get classified, at a receiving center, and then they ship you somewhere. But they don't really lock you down or nothing to validate. They already have it validated before because the gang shit, the gang file.
Okay, and I know that New Mexico is predominantly a raza and
Yeah.
indigenous people, a lot of natives. What's the makeup of like Crips and Blood gangs or Africano gangs out there? Is there a big influence of them, or not necessarily in New Mexico?
Nah, there's some, but not many. Um, they tried to, these new dudes, they're trying to do that shit, but it doesn't roll. It doesn't roll here. It don't really it don't lock in, you know what I mean, whenever they're trying to do it. And I think they just roll in the hood too. I'm trying to think if there's any black dudes in our hood. I don't think so. Yeah, no. Not that I
Mhm.
can think of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they haven't quite hit New Mexico yet. So with all that, your past behind you, bro, you've went through a lot. Basically, your familia is ingrained into that gang life or ingrained into that fast life, that life. You
Yeah.
know, um, what are you doing now to get past that, bro? I know you got children, you're maintaining. I want you to speak on your shirt. You got your brand out there. You can speak on that, bro. Throw that out there for the people because you got some dope fucking clothing, a dope clothing line, bro. But what are you doing now, bro, to get past all that? You know what I mean? Your past.
Yeah. Yeah. So after prison, you know what I mean? I just like losing my mom and shit like that. I was like, fuck this, I'm done. So I started working in the oil field, and that shit was horrible. So when the COVID shit happened, it went down, and I was like, man, I'm gonna start my own business. So I started the clothing brand. You know what I mean? It's Packing the Blower on Instagram. We also have Generals Only coming, but it hasn't kicked off yet.
Yeah.
So that shit happened, and I was just like, I'm not gonna beg no one for days off. You know what I mean? so I started my own shit, and it's been fucking popping off. And then the YouTube channel, in the process of all that, I started doing YouTube too,
Yeah.
and it's getting up there. But those things right there really just kept me away from all the other shit. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm good in my hood. Like I can go there, whatever. I'm not they didn't take me out of it or nothing like that.
No,
I'm
you're
still
not deemed
free.
bad. You're
Yeah,
still so would you consider yourself active or just a man still in good standings within the gang?
yeah, I'm good. I'm in good standings. But the thing is that I think they seen that I kind of changed everything around. You know what I mean? And there's
Yeah.
still little dudes that try to stare or whatever, but they're not busting no grapes or nothing like that. They just look.
Yeah.
But even the rivals know that I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm about my money and about my family now. And I mean, nowadays you know what I mean? Now that I'm getting this bag, I'm not gonna be out there shooting people. If it comes to that, I'm gonna drop a bag, and they know a lot of my little homies are with it. Like
Yeah,
they
exactly.
won't they won't fuck around. And I think that's why, bro, they just kind of let me do my shit. And like I was telling you, I did an interview, and the big homie, I thought, and the reason I say, like, why I was like, fuck, I don't know if I'm in trouble, because he's over the whole state, you know what I mean? Not just Roswell, he's over all that. He got out with Trump doing that federal shit. He got out
Yeah.
on that, and he was doing like 25, but he got out, and then he calls me and he's like, well, because he called me when he got out, like, what the fuck's going on? Everybody needs to stop shooting each other. And I told him, they ain't gonna listen to us, you know what I mean? These little fucking kids over here, these kids are killing like 13-year-olds, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they ain't gonna listen to us. That prison shit don't matter out here, you know what I mean? And he didn't get that, but so he called me and told me just what to say and what not to say, and he said, I respect that you're trying to do that, and you got the sack to tell the story about us. And they all appreciate the shit, that I'm putting
Yeah.
our story out there. So
Yeah,
when he told me that, I mean, he's touching everybody, every hood. So they knew by him saying that, knowing what I'm doing, they just kind of let me just do my shit. You know what I mean? They don't.
Yeah, you got the blessing, bro. When you get the blessing of someone of that status, everyone just falls in line, man, and they conduct themselves as they should. But that's good to know, bro, because see, a lot of people get the misconception with other states, and a lot of people just don't know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's why I was so happy that you tapped in. I was able to bring you. We can network on some shit. And again, man, go ahead and shout your YouTube channel out there so people know, so they can come follow you, brother.
The YouTube is called It's a Life of Zay. Life is spelled Lyfe, and then of Zay. Yeah, you can find that on YouTube, TikTok, fucking Instagram. It's all under the same name. And then the clothing is the Pack and the Blower on Instagram too.
Man, sick, dope clothing, man. Tap in with
Yeah.
that packing the blower. But yeah, bro, it's a good thing that you were able to separate yourself from what you were getting involved in, but at the same time doing it righteously, still within good standings, still with getting the homie love. I know because there's a lot of individuals. I myself, man, don't kick it as much with the homies as much as I would like to. I got family, I got a lot of things going on. And in some cases, man, it's better for me not to go back to certain spots, right? Because it can get ugly, and I can get ugly too. But with the understanding that knowing you're able to go back, you're able to kick it, you're able to have a good time and fraternize with the homies, that's always a good feeling, I'm sure,
Yeah.
With that being said, bro, it's a crazy story. I appreciate your time, bro. The things that you went through and the things that you overcame, man. You got lucky on them 2 murder beefs. I myself caught a murder at the age of 11 and went to CYA. You know my story, bro, if you've tapped in. And I understand about doing YA time or youth time, man. It gets ugly in there. For those that don't know, I know it don't count for much as you get older, but the memories will never leave, man. You know what I mean? The scars and the memories. Yeah, man. So I appreciate you, bro. Anything you want to say?
Nah, bro. Just everybody continue to fucking, support both channels. We're trying to do this movement, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but we gotta I think there's a message in everything, and a lot of people are like, y'all are promoting this shit. But it's like, nah, bro, you might see a smile, but we had to adapt to the shit. You know what I mean? Because it's fucking it's ugly, like you said, and just understand that and take the message that's there, because a lot of people don't. They think we're fucking out here saying go gangbang. And it's like, no, there's a message in everything. Just because we don't tell it like these other people, that don't make a difference. You feel me?
It's we try to express it and just show them the harsh realities of what we had to go through, what we've been through, and several others like us, so that way they can listen to our stories and fucking not have to go there. You know what I mean? But if they decide to go there again, then do what you do. We did it.
Yeah.
With that being said, bro, I hope that you move fast with a purpose, guys. I hope that you guys get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about getting up, get out there, getting something, get that bag, man. If we did it, you can do it. Bang, bang, the gun. Life is A, man. Tap in. Pack and blower clothing. I guarantee the shit is fire. Bang, bang.
Yeah.